Good morning, you guys, and welcome back to another episode of Realty Rides. Today I am previewing and reviewing one of the coolest off-road vehicles I've ever seen. This is a 2014 Jeep Wrangler Rubicon, and it's for sale here on Whidbey Island, and I'm borrowing it from Cooper Automotive Sales here on the south end of Whidbey here in Clinton. And it is one of the coolest Jeeps I've ever seen. I'm starting to do car profiles and reviews now, and I've been lucky enough to take this thing for about an hour today and I kind of give you guys an idea of what it's like to have a customized, beautiful Wrangler Jeep Rubicon for your very own. So stay tuned and watch. I hope you enjoy the video. So, like I said, this is the 2014 Jeep Wrangler Rubicon, and this is not just any Wrangler Rubicon. This is a customized version that someone here on Whidbey Island did a really cool set of modifications on. Starting off with the cool tires. These are kind of off-brand, but they're really interesting wheels. It's got a great paint job on it. Jeep Wrangler Rubicon is such an iconic vehicle. This stems back from the old CJ days back in 1941 when the original Jeep was invented for World War II. And the common design of this vehicle hasn't really changed after all these years. So they've advanced up over the years in the 70s and 80s to kind of looked a little bit differently and have different type of power plants in it. This one has a V6, has about 285 horsepower. But this is an insanely cool vehicle that just caught my eye, and I really wanted to make this one of my first reviews on our little channel here for Realty Rides. I've always liked Jeeps. I love off-road vehicles, and the Jeep Wrangler Rubicon has always been one of my top favorites. I like the Broncos, I like the Rover Defenders. But something about this car is just so simplistic, so girthy, so off-roady. It just, captures all of the elements of what I think is a really cool vehicle. What's really nice about this vehicle too is that the top comes off and the doors come off too. And look at these hinges. This was a design from way back in 1941 when the Jeep was first developed. Not quite sure if they have a patent on this or not, but I can tell you one thing, these doors are really solid. And here goes the top, comes off. And I'm not going to do it now because it's a vehicle that doesn't belong to me, but there is the inside of the latches for the top. And then here's the interior itself. The guy that designed it did a really cool design with the speakers all over the place. This is definitely designed for a person that wants to go off-roading and listen to cool music and have a lot of fun. And I can tell you, just by driving around the block a little bit, this thing is way fun. Too much fun. It's got an old roll bar here that's padded up, and in the back it's got some storage. This is designed for only 2 people. The thing about it is just, really heavy duty. It's got plastic everywhere too, but it's strong. It's really well made. Chrysler, Jeep have been developing these vehicles forever, and it's just, they really got it down. In this situation here, the guy decided to put a really cool subwoofer in the back, but if you lift the hatchback, actually you fold down the seat and you got plenty of room here for other items. See, like that, but I'm not going to do that. So here's the roll bar. It's all padded, very strong construction. Yeah, it's an awesome vehicle. You know, and there's other guys online that can give you a little bit more of a detail in terms of what the Rubicons are all about. There's all sorts of different versions of them. There's four-door, two-door. They almost look like large SUV vehicles, but this one just caught my eye because of the personal touches that this owner put into this vehicle. And it's for sale here at Cooper Automotive. Cooper Automotive is the first car dealership you'll find when you come off the island, right off the ferry. It's on the right hand side. I'll give you the link down below in the description. And he sells all sorts of really interesting vehicles. And again, this 2014 Jeep Wrangler Rubicon with the 285 horsepower V6 engine is for sale right now. So let's go for a little drive and I'll show you what it's like to drive this insanely cool car. All right, let's go. So this, the owner also put, I think, a custom exhaust on this vehicle, and it has a very throaty, kind of like a old muscle car sound to it, which is really awesome. But you know, look at this. Oh yeah, love this. Love a Jeep. Thing is bouncing around. It's actually very comfortable. What I like about this car too is that the steering wheel is nice and fat. You can really grip it. You get a really good handle on it, on the control. And it has air conditioning, a nice stereo. Like I said, a really custom stereo in it. It has, I believe it's a 6-speed transmission. Of course, it's all-wheel drive. This is the perfect vehicle if you're here on the island, especially in the snow in the wintertime when it gets cold and rainy and wet and snowy here. This is the vehicle to have. And I would love to own this myself someday. I'm telling you, I'm having so much fun today driving this vehicle. And look at the steering wheel. God, I love big fat steering wheels like this. It's very stable. Feel it's very ergonomically correct. The seats are very comfortable. You're sitting nice and high. Nice 90-degree windscreen in front of you. Man, I'm telling you what, life is good driving in a cool Rubicon like this. Because this is a like the perfect little go-around car, get-around car, and daily driver. Not to mention the fun factor is on a 10+ scale. Especially when you take the top off in the summertime. You know, you bring some friends along, listen to cool music, kind of go off-roading a little bit. It's a blast. Whoa, this thing is so bouncy. So bouncy, it's so cool. It handles really well too. I mean, my gosh, I couldn't believe how well it handles. You don't feel like you're gonna tip this thing over, even though as you're sitting, the wheelbase is pretty high. But overall, man, yeah, this is blast. So I really appreciate the owner of Cooper Motors to allow me to start reviewing some of his cars. So let's talk a little bit about the Jeep. The Jeep was invented, well, in 1941, I believe, for World War II. It had, I believe at the time, had only a 4-cylinder engine. Didn't have a lot of horsepower, but it was capable of going just pretty much anywhere. And over the years, this design, and there was another version too called the Willys Jeep, but this was the original CJ model that Jeep, the iconic name Jeep developed back in those days. And over the years, they developed into different, you know, variants of the CJ model. And I believe now this one is the JT model. I might be wrong. If I'm wrong, I'll put it up there on the description. But in any event, the change of this, the overall look of this car hasn't changed at all. It's very similar to the Porsche 911, the Volkswagen Bug. You know, they haven't changed. It's the same vehicle from, you know, 50 years ago. And it's not always about the speed, you know. It's not always about the speed. It's just having fun, cruising along with your friends and your wife or your girlfriend, and just having a blast. And when the weather gets bad, because it always gets bad every year, you know, rain and snow, this is like the perfect vehicle to drive around in there. And by the way, you know, if you're in real estate like I am, this is the perfect real estate vehicle. This is the perfect real estate vehicle. Drive people around, show people around, go look at houses. You know, if you get a listing, you need to do a lot of work and, you know, running around. This is the perfect run-around vehicle for the upcoming and veteran real estate agent, if any profession for that matter. It's just an all-around great vehicle. So thanks for watching, you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will be doing a lot more car reviews in the future, and looking forward to doing some specialty vehicles coming up. And I'm going to be reviewing the new 2022 Ford Bronco here real soon, and a few other really interesting automobiles. If you like this channel, please subscribe and comment below, because it really helps me out a lot. I borrowed this really cool Rubicon from Cooper Automotive Sales here in Clinton, Washington. He rents and sells cars of all kinds. He's the first car dealership that you'll see when you come off the ferry. And there's the Rubicon that we just drove. Sells campers, all sorts of interesting vehicles. Very convenient, literally 2 minutes off the ferry, and you have Cooper Auto Sales.